Before heading off to explore the DLC areas added in the Old Hunters, I feel I should first address the additional content added to vanilla copies of the game in patch 1.07. Warp to the Forbidden Woods and step into the elevator shortcut to the right of the lamp. There you should find a new NPC named Valtr, leader of the co-op covenant known as the League. Speak to him to acquire a new gesture and the rune for his covenant.
Ah, a new face, are you? And an accomplished hunter, it would appear. I am Valtr, Master of the League. Members of the League cleanse the streets of all the filth that's spread about during the hunt. Like any half-decent hunter ought to, you know? Haven't you seen enough of these wretched beasts? Freakish slugs and mad doctors. Sentence these fiends to death with the help of your League confederates. What do you say? Why not join the League? Yes, as a hunter well should. Commit this to heart. Our own Carol rune, symbol of the League. The night brims with defiled scum and is permeated by their rotten stench. Just think, now you're all set to hunt and kill to your heart's content. Hunt in cooperation with your fellows, your League confederates. Now, there is one thing you must know. By the oath of the League, those who bear its rune will see vermin. Vermin writhe deep within all filth and are the root of man's impurity. All vermin are to be crushed. The League exists to expunge all vermin, ridding us of any trace of human corruption. And so, until we are rid of all vermin, you must continue to hunt and kill. This bloody fate is ours alone. Do not expect the world to grasp our work. But remember, the Confederates will always have my blessing. And each other. Always.
By wearing the rune, you will collect vermin after you successfully help another player kill a boss in co-op. By crushing these vermin, you rank up in the Covenant. After crushing one, you will unlock new dialogue from Valtr, and spawn a new hostile NPC hunter at the Forbidden Woods lamp. This enemy uses a fire-buffed hunter's axe, blunderbuss, and a new hunter tool called Madara's Whistle. The whistle is a blood-tinged scaling AoE essentially, that takes the form of a giant snake head snapping closed. The snake can damage the user as well as any enemies within its range, but it is possible to quickly dodge away from it after the spell has been cast. Killing this hostile hunter will award you with the whistle, which requires 18 blood tinge to cast, and consumes 4 quicksilver bullets.
Very good. You've crushed some vermin. I'm the Master of the League, I can see it in your eyes. I'm pleased. This makes you a true fellow of the League. A Confederate. Now, take this stuff, a symbol of our oath, of our blood-drenched fate. You'll be welcomed as a true Confederate. Go forth with renewed vigor. In short time, you will see how the mission takes hold of one's spirits.
After crushing 5 vermin, step back inside the elevator shortcut to find that Valtr has disappeared and left the Master's Iron Helm behind. While this item is only obtainable if the player owns PlayStation Plus, one can acquire a nearly identical copy of the helm, only with a new name and item description, by killing Valtr instead, although this is easier said than done. After picking up the one-eyed Iron Helm, the hostile NPC hunter will spawn at the Forbidden Woods lamp as well, giving you the opportunity to pick up the whistle. With that out of the way, this video from this point forward will explore the DLC content, assuming you have the Old Hunters installed. So, spoiler warning, as if that wasn't already obvious. In the Hunter's Dream, you should find a key item lying on the stairs, the Eye of a Blood-Drunk Hunter. This is essentially the broken pendant from the Dark Souls 1 DLC. And just in the way Ulasil is accessed through a portal, the Hunter's Nightmare is also. Teleport to Odin Chapel and step out through the leftmost door, making your way to the amygdala hanging on the wall. You don't have to be able to see the creature in order to be teleported, but you do have to at least have killed Vicar Amelia so that Yharnam has entered night.
Cursed fiends, their children too. And their children forever true.
You will be taken to the Hunter's Nightmare, a twisted and distorted version of Yharnam filled with ancient weapons and maddened hunters. You will find a large portion of the DLC to be somewhat familiar. In fact, the first lamp of the area is in the Nightmare's version of Odin Chapel. Make your way out the frontmost door and head up the stairs. You will encounter our first new enemy at the top, a stronger version of the standard huntsman from Yharnam, but wielding one of the new weapons, the Beast Cutter. The range of this weapon is ridiculous, so you'll either want to dash in to attack quickly and dash back out, or try for some long distance parries. Past the enemy, pick up the Old Hunter Hat, the first piece of the armor set we'll be collecting in this video. The gate ahead will be a shortcut for later, but as of right now it's locked, so backtrack down the stairs, and this time take the mountainous new path on the left. The path leads to yet another old huntsman, who is more difficult to defeat on this narrow walkway. Finish him off, and drop off the left side of the path, landing on a roof with an item. This is the second piece of the set, the Old Hunter Gloves. With that, make your way up the path again, this time going past where the Old Huntsman spawned. Straight ahead is the Nightmare's version of the central courtyard from Cathedral Ward, and is covered in wolfmen and old huntsmen attempting to slay them. By hanging back and watching the fighting from afar, you might find it easier to kill the remaining enemies after one side has been defeated. There are generally two old huntsmen found here, one with the Beast Cutter and the other with a fire great hammer known as the Boom Hammer. Separate them and use range attacks if you have them. You definitely don't want to find yourself trapped between these two powerful enemies. Moving on, step through the archway and climb the stairs until you make it to this leftmost brick cliff face. Drop off the end and follow the path, defeating the enemies along the way, to pick up your own Beast Cutter. Requiring only 11 strength and 9 skill, this could easily be a viable early weapon for a new build. After all, you only have to defeat Amelia to get here. Back up the stairs, a swarm of wolfmen will block your way. These enemies aren't nearly as dangerous as the rolling boulder trap that will follow. Just past the trap, take a left and pick up the Old Hunter garb. Now, only one piece to the set remains. Finally, at the top of the staircase, stand back and watch as two huntsmen who attempt to open the door to the Grand Cathedral are demolished by a frightening new enemy. With features taking from cathedral giants, executioners, and brain suckers, I'm at a loss for what to call this thing, so let's just go with Giant Executioner. This monster moves quickly, hits extremely hard, and can even buff its weapon with some sort of spell that causes explosions on its swings. The only redeemable thing about this creature is that its attacks can be parried, but thanks to the staircase you'll probably be fighting it on, getting the riposte for those parries is problematic. Finally, enter the Grand Cathedral and pick up the Eye Pendant from the burning cleric beast in the back. Don't worry, you won't have to fight it yet. It will be a while before this key item comes into play, so just hold on to it for now. Before moving on, let's unlock a shortcut. Proceed down the stairs to the brick cliff face again. This time, take the darkened path to the left, killing the wolfmen found there. Continue downward and open the gate by pulling the lever surrounded by carrion crows. This opens the shortcut gate from earlier, which you can use to go back to the lamp. You may notice an item on a platform up above that you can't reach from here, assuming you haven't picked it up yet. So backtrack back up the darkened staircase and keep left until you find an opportunity to drop down to the item. The Old Hunter Trousers completes the set, which is similar to the Charred Hunter set in its appearance. The item's descriptions for this set speaks to the original Yharnam hunters and the superstitions they believed about beasthood. Between clinging to mystic metals and wrapping belts around their right leg, the descriptions make the point of expressing that you are indeed in a distorted, nightmarish version of Yharnam's past. With that, feel free to use the shortcut to return to the Hunter's Dream, where we'll pick up in the next video.